I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are audible, Nidhi.
Thank you for confirming. So, I am starting with a quote from Harvest by Manjula Padmanavan. They are not just looking at you, Om. They are looking through you. To them, you are not a man. You are a set of spare parts wrapped in a skin that they now own. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Koel Banerjee, and I chose to start with these chilling words from Manjula Padmanavan's Harvest because they get straight to the heart of our discussion today. Technology as invader in society with reference to Manjula Padmanavan's Harvest. When we talk about technology as an invader, we are not just talking about gadgets or the internet. We are talking about the moment a human being ceases to be a person and becomes a resource, a collection of data points, or as in the case of this play, Harvest, biological organs for sale. It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Karishma Parveen and our dear audience to the 58th CSRF Public Lecture. CSRF, Cultural Studies Research Forum, it is an initiative by Valat. It is a premier intellectual platform dedicated to fostering critical dialogue at the intersection of literature, society, and theory. Through its ongoing series of public lectures, CSRA provides a scholars and researchers to dissect contemporary cultural phenomena, bringing the gap between the traditional academic inquiry and the evolving complexities of the modern world. Today marks the 58th public lecture in this prestigious series, continuing our mission of learning for life. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our resource person for this session. She is really a dear to me, Miss Karishma Parvin, a dedicated academician from Pandua, West Bengal. Miss Parvin brings a distinguished record of scholarship to today's discussion. After completing her graduation and post-graduation at the University of Badwan, which is my university too, fortunately, she achieved the prestigious UGC NET with JRF certificate and also qualified WB set. That actually reflecting her deep commitment to academic excellence. Currently serving as an assistant professor at the Cyber Research and Training Institute in Burdwan, Miss Parvin's expertise lies in literary theory with a specialized focus on post-colonial studies and invasion narrative. Her research in these areas has culminated in three scholarly publications, making her an ideal voice to lead today's discussion, today's exploration of technology as a societal invader in Manjula Padmanavan's Harvest. Beyond her academic pursuit, Karishma is a writer and an artist who finds inspiration in art, crafts, and quiet reflection of the natural world. It is actually a balanced perspective that she brings to the analysis of the human condition in the digital age. We are honored to have her lead this provocative discussion on the technology as invented in society. The floor now is yours, Karishma.
Thank you, Dee, for your beautiful speeches or remarks you uttered. And good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing great all. And thank you, Kalani Bhalak ma'am and Anand sir, for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge on this particular topic today. And also thanks, Koildi, for helping me a lot. So today I am going to deliver technology as embedded in society with reference to Manjula Padmanavan's Harvest. So yes, my topic is about technology, how it is embedded society. So now let me clear you how I would go with this topic. So first of all, we know that we nowadays are actually surrounded by technology. Even if we try to get out of it, we fail. And I will elaborate in detail about it with taking harvest. I am about to tell you how we actually surrounded and governed by technology nowadays, and also taking instances from real life so that you must be well understood. And my key points are, first of all, of course, introduction about this topic, how technology as an invader comes in my mind, and then I will go with the background of the play and the concept of Hegemony by Antonio Gramsci, and then of course I will cover Panopticon, another concept by Jeremy Bentham, and then talking about the concept surveillance, or I can say term surveillance. Then I will go with few technological appliances and state how it invades privacy, autonomy, and human relationships. And then finally, I would come to conclusion. So it's all about the main topic or the discussion for today's session. So I think I can go forward with the topic now. Am I audible?
Yes, Karishma.
Okay, thank you. So we all know technology is one of the greatest achievements in our society, modern society, right? It makes communication faster, work easier, and even make life more comfortable and convenient. But why it is invader? Have you ever think how can we say it invader? Let me first introduce you what can we mean by invader. So invader is a person or group that enters a play by force or sorry or without permission to take control or to cause harm people. But nowadays, technology increasingly poses a significant threat in society. So invasion here is actually metaphorical and not literal. So there, the invasion here, I can say that metaphorical or underlyingly we are invaded by technology, not directly. For example, we are exposing to vast amount of technologies, and for example, also we can say digital devices like smartwatches, smart wearables, AI, and Internet of Things. It invades us, dominate us, and change the behavior of the people, and also reshapes our social realities. Actually, how do we act? How do we behave ourselves? How do we change ourselves? And how do we lead ourselves in modern days? We all actually following the technology and taking help from it. So regarding this context, there is a beautiful play which is called Harvest. It is by Manjula Padmanavan. So written in 1997, the play is introduced in a futuristic Bombay of the 2010, where morality, ethicality, all discarded, and the organ selling market has been fully institutionalized. So in the play, there is a company called Interplanetary Services which actually execute this process. You know, there is a technical thing or technical gadget appeared in the play through which the so-called third world country is captivated by the first world. Here, first world means the Western people, and the third world means we are the Indians, or we can say the Eastern people. Okay. So, are you getting my point? Anyone? Am I clear to you all or audible to you all?
Yes, yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Karishma, we are getting it.
Oh,
Just continue.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the play, there is a particularly company called Interplanetary Services, which is actually going through which is actually execute this process, as I said. So the play Harvest is a three-act drama about the commodification of the human body in the third world countries. It is in this world people from the lower socioeconomic classes give their organs away in exchange for food and money. The same is happened with Om, the play's key character, who is the primary character who actually goes to the company for money. He actually facing difficulties in life, so he wants money, so he goes for there. But he was unaware of the fact that what he will face later after signing the terms and conditions of the company, right? So he actually signed the so he actually signed the papers and come under this operation or the services. So he become the organ donor in the play and he donates his organ to an American receiver named Guinea. This is where the invasion begins through interplanetary services. Okay, the moment he actually agreed to sell his organ and or to donate his organ to this company, he actually comes under the invasion via technology. And in doing so, the first world, or I can say the American receiver, is preoccupied with Ohm's health and rigorously controls the lives of Ohm as well as the family member. So the company not only actually trapped Ohm, but also taking with all the family members and also make them harm and force them. But I can't say that force them literally, but with their consent. So the company agreed so the company make them agreed to go with or to following their instructions or advices. So hence the company installed a contact module in their one-room apartment and supplied food and fuel for the family members. And they are forbid to consume anything on their own. As I said, they are trapped under this company. So whatever they wish, so and his family have to follow. So it is clearly seen so it is clearly seen in Act 1 when the gods actually utter that all implements of personal fuel preparation will be supplied exclusively by independent services. Henceforward, you and your domestic unit will consume only those fuels which will be made available to you by the services. Means they are not free to use on their own or to behave on their own or how they or what they should do or how they act or how they behave in front of others, what to take or what to not take, so how to they rest, all are decided by the company through gadgets. So in this way we can say that technology becomes invader because the all these things actually processed with the help of technology. So, going forward, I can say that despite being citizens of an independent country, Om and his family become victims of the first world. For example, Om is totally trapped by agreeing to the service, as I said earlier, and with Om, all the family members are inclined to this conspiracy. There is a character called Ma who is Om's mother. She is provided with a video couch and stays she stays absorbed in the screen all throughout the time. So we can see in the play that all the time she is just involved in the video couch and just cast her eyes on the screen and she is unaware of the facts or she is unaware of the surroundings, right? The other characters are facing difficulties or crises or anything danger might occur, but she is just involved deeply in the gadgets, in the video couch. So see how technology actually moves away Ma from the real world people. So it proves that how she escaped from reality. She forgets her real self here. So in real life also technology does the same. We sometimes so deeply involved in our technological gadgets that we forgot our society, our surroundings, what is going on. Even kids especially, they are so deeply involved sometimes that you of course may be seen. They even fail to listen to her family, especially mom, and they just live in their own mind during using the technological gadgets. Another character there is called Jitu, who is of course younger brother of who is also fall for this situation. So talking about Jitu, he is affected in a very tragic way. Firstly, he is mistaken for and taken by the services, and after that, he comes back blind, injured, and mentally challenged. Or I can say mentally changed totally. They think Jitu is and they take away Jitu and then operated and then gets him blind. But in doing so, they actually do greatest harm to him. And he is not in his real self now, and he is totally detached from the real life. And after coming back, he is so mesmerized with another character I must introduce, Gimme, who is actually not physically present. He is present in front of the family, but with the help of a gadget, and who is actually animated dream. He is not physically present in his own form, in her own form. So Jitu is mesmerized by Guinea now. So sorry for the background noises. So after, as I said, after coming back from the services, so Jitu is totally under control by Guinea. He is mesmerized by her, and the image of Guinea actually projected directly into his mind. As he is blind, so how could he see Guinea? But still, even after getting blind, he continues to see Guinea through artificial stimulation. So let me clear you one thing. There is a contact module. It is a gadget which is fixed at the center of their apartment, through which they actually keep an eye on all the characters or all the family members of and guides or advises or instructed the family members what should they do or not. So here from this contact module, Guinea appears in front of the family, but she is not real. She is just computer animated dream or computer animated person, I can say. So in the contemporary era, we are also independent, living in an independent country, but we fall for the technology. So like and his family, though they are independent, so we are similarly independent, but we nowadays in modern society trapped under technology. We fooled ourselves, by thinking that we are supreme one. You know why? We already know because we are the creator of technology, right? From years ago, we created it, we developed it, how we should structure a device or what should be included in this or how it manufactured or how it would be applied in real life later after completing the device. So all through this we actually created. So we think ourselves supremacy, but in a way, we I can say that underneath we are actually invented. Though we made it or created it, but actually technology governed us, okay? Because we follow its guidance. We fix something on our gadgets and later it reminds us the what to do and how to do. So we are actually invented. So I can say that a stage of dominance can be found here. Here we must mention. Antonio Gramsci's concept hegemony. It used to refer to one's supremacy within a confederation, but later it widely understood as the cultural domination or domination others, you know, by making agreeing with, by making agreed, not forcefully, but but with consent. So people actually with willingly give willingly agreed to the services and they falls for the technology. Same things happening in the current era. So we are so much influenced or surrounded by technology that we even don't think about its negative side or under what is underlying is there or what is implied under the technology. We are very casual, we become so casual. We casually wake up in the morning and then go to bed and everything is casual and everything is normal to us. But actually we are invaded by these things. We are not aware of it. Or maybe I can say we are aware of, but still we are ignoring these things. This is just so light to us. There is no burden in our mind regarding these things. Um, so think for once who are attending this lecture right now. So think for once, right from waking up in the morning to the night, we are actually invaded by technology. For example, just after waking up, we seeking for our phone. We seek for our phone and then surfing on internet and then scrolling the reels and then use any websites or so and so forth. Then all throughout the day, wherever we stay or at office or in any institution or at home, we actually surrounded by these things. We stick to our gadgets as per our need or entertainment. But beside it, we can say it actually distracts us. If you see, many things are actually become distorted while going through this technology or using this technology. We are not focused nowadays. We become distorted, we become disconnected from our real life, and sometimes we actually fail to achieve our goals. What is our real purpose? We actually forgot these things in life, and it is obvious nowadays because unnecessarily we engaging on these things all the time in our leisure time or in our busiest time. So we actually forgot the value of time. I hope you can relate to these things. We are actually losing our authenticity and we are actually forget the time, the value of it actually. So basically we are succumb to it and we don't pay any heed to this. So coming back to this plays one act again, we can see that Om entered into the service by giving consent and comes under the continuous watch by the contact module. As we can see right from the beginning in the play, the receiver world through technology, particularly through the contact module, has been keeping an eye constantly on the family of Om. As I already said, it is placed at the center of the room and it is so easy to use and it is so feasible, and it serves as a means of communication between the first world and the third world people. So whenever the first world seems to necessity to communicate with the third world, they actually use this module and instruct or advise them. And because the module can rotate to face each corner, it's even more useful. So here can I give you a real life example, which is of course you know all, that is CCTV camera. So what is happening nowadays? In every shop, in every store, there are CCTV, right? So we are constantly watched by the CCTV. Maybe sometimes knowingly or sometimes unknowingly. So it constantly record our activities, our behavior, and so on. So again, reading the place context, we can connect it to panopticon, which is a great term I can say, and it is a beautiful concept, which is actually Jeremy Bentham's concept. So, what is it? It is actually Jeremy Bentham's 18th century design for a prison, designed for an institutional building with an inbuilt system of control. Featuring a central observation tower, it is divided into cells, which allows the guard to keep an eye constantly to the inmates from a single vantage point. So, like the content module or like our modern day CCTV, in the 18th century, panopticon is invented by Jeremy Bentham, which is stick to a tower or ceiling, and from that particular point, the guards can watch over the people or the inmates of the prison, and they are not aware of this thing actually, and the thing is present in a way or the thing is placed in a way that at one time, at one moment, they are all actually captured, all their behaviors actually captured or observed by the gods. And its core theory is that people who were stayed in the cells were not aware of the fact they are being watched, which allowed for easiest control and regulate their behavior. So it is very useful. So here in the play, we see people come in touch with others using this contact module. Even when the contact module was turned off, let me say you, even when it is off, still Om's family actually observed by the first world people. So they are not aware of the thing. Om and his family, they think that only when the first world people appear in front of them, they can see. So, but in the later time or in other times, they actually behave on their own and they are unaware. So they enjoyed, or I can say they lead life, not enjoyed, but lead their life in their own terms and conditions, unaware of this fact. But here is the advantage. The advantage is, of course, I would like to again repeat that the first world people actually can regulate or maintain, or I can say control the people, the family member of whom. So as a result, the inhabitants of the apartment are enslaved by the first world's unwavering gaze. And this is a kind of gaze where the subject is simultaneously identified, objectified, and subjugated. That visibility lent power to the observer, which is of course in case of this play the first world people, the American receiver, but it confers weakness to the observed, who are the Ohm's family. So where we can use, so in this context, we can use the term surveillance. So surveillance again, it is basically you are under someone. I mean, you are under observation someone. So surveillance, panopticon, the modern day CCTV camera, all are similar. So it actually snatches away the complete privation of our of the people living in the world, and also in the play. And nowadays we are actually surrounded by these things. So, yes, we are not so strong right now. I must mention to you that earlier people so strong or so determined, but nowadays we actually lose these qualities. We have become weak. We become lazy in the presence of technological devices. For instance, various now let me go forward with some technological gadgets, with which we become invaded. Then it would be more clear to you all how it actually invaded us. So let me first, going forward, let me first introduce the devices. For example, the smart TVs, smart fans, which comes with remote control technology, which allowing users to operate them conveniently without leaving their bed or sofa. So, what we see nowadays, that just lying down on sofa or sitting on bed, we're just using our gadget, our remote. We can switch on or off the fan, and we actually change our channels. So it is very easy, right? Even I must say the main example of our mother, or I can say the main gadget which is useful to our family members, mainly our mother, that is washing machine. So think about it. So there are nowadays automatic washing machines which complete the entire washing process without manual effort. So we lost our manual capabilities. There are lots of things. I just picked up the three only, but there are lots of things which actually, by using which we actually lost our capacities. So these technologies are good, I can't deny. They are undoubtedly convenient, easy to use, and effective in our daily lives. But while they improve comfort outwardly, inwardly they actually invade us. Outwardly, we think, wow, so easy, easily things happen, easily we can achieve anything and do anything, complete our task. But inwardly, we actually mm, make us harm, or we actually receive harm. Gradually, humans are becoming more dependent on these artificial systems. We are no longer the pure natural self of nature. Rather, we are unnatural within the nature. Once again, coming back to the third act of the play, we can see the appearance of Virgil, another character. He is a character who exposes the first world and its true intentions to Jaya, again another character. So Jaya is Om's wife. So if we go through the last scene of the third act, we find an important conversation taking place between Jaya and Virgil. You know, when Jaya inquires about Guinea, whom she whom she saw earlier, and now when she is talking with Virgil, Guinea is not present. So she casually inquires about Guinea, how she appears, or what she wants, or who she is. But Virgil here actually became brutally honest, and he tells all the true intentions of the first world people. He exposed, or he said to Jaya that Gini is nothing but a computer animated dream. Just think, they all thought that Gini is a person. She comes in front of them, and advises them and instructed them. But what we see in the later part of the play, that she is not person. She is not actually real life or physical person. He is just a computer animated version. So Jaya becomes soft. So through this revelation, the play shows that even the figure which seemed physically present before the family was actually a false animated version created through technology. So see how technology nowadays so advanced. Even in our real life also, we can impose anyone's face on others poster or others face. So we can do anything. We can also misuse this technology using this uh, using technology we can misuse others and misuse other things in society, therefore harm others people. So this proves the supremacy and manipulative power of technology, as it can make believe that the unreal is real. And we are often influenced and morally corrupted through excessive use of social media and virtual platforms. And there is no doubt at present I am actually using technology. So in order to present my speech or present my lecture. But what can I do? We can't go out of it, right? We can't get out of it. But still, we should use this. Actually, we would use it, though we are invaded. So, however, at the end of the play, Virgil vigorously tries to persuade Jaya. So, we can see if we go through the end of the play, or if we go towards the last scene of the play, we see that now Virgil, as he already exposed himself to Jaya, so now see clearly or fearlessly, or we can say clearly expresses his desire to, to get Jaya. He actually persuades Jaya to submit herself to him. He expresses his desire to have a child with her and proposes that they use his genetic material and Jaya's womb to produce the child. Through this proposal, the play further exposes the extent to which technology and system attempt to control human life and emotion. Right? However, Jaya resists. Here is the turning point of the play. Here actually Jaya resists. All throughout the play, we can see that all the characters are succumbed to technology or trapped under technology helplessly. But Jaya is the one character, and she is the female character who actually resists, who actually think about going against the technology or going against the power of the first world, who actually using technology trap the or control the third world people, right? So he tried to come out of the situation and tried to free herself from the situation. So hence, instead of surrendering, she expresses her wish to die. She actually chooses the death is beautiful thing rather than succumb to this or come under pressure of the first world people, that is particularly Virgil. So the play ultimately ends on this note of her readiness to die. So in this way, beautifully the play ends, or actually the writer ends the play. So in conclusion, I can say that of course technology is a powerful tool that brings both significant advancements and adverse effects. And the rapid proliferation of technology has transformed it from a mere tool into an invasive force in modern society, reshaping how individuals communicate, work, and perceive reality. It is obvious nowadays when even when we are go out of home and traveling, you see lots of people. I think almost 99% people actually stick to their phones. They not even look outside of window. There is a beautiful scenario or nature outside of the train or any vehicle, but we actually ignore those nature and stick to particularly our gadgets. We just scrolling and surfing, and we don't even communicate with the person who's sitting beside us. So we are so narrow-minded. We have become so narrow-minded, or we can say we become so limited, or make ourselves limited that we forgot the reality or the realistic world outside. As we see in The Harvest, when the play reaches its climax, all the characters are reduced to mere objects within a system of organ trade and exploitation. They are also become limited or narrow-minded people. Guinea continues to control the family through the contact module, proving how technology can be used to monitor and manipulate human beings. However, Jaya gradually becomes aware of this cruelty and begins to resist the system. Thus, the play highlights dehumanization, exploitation, and the loss of freedom in a technologically controlled world. So, in our lives too, you see, technology acts as an invader by intruding upon personal privacy, altering social relationships, and creating dependency. So privacy is no more personal now. It become, all. I mean, there is no personal. All things become impersonal. So there is no subjectivity now. There is all thing comes under objectivity. So we are all subjective. So we are all alter from subjective to objective now, and we are so dependent on this thing, and we have become so addicted to these things that we gradually forgetting our real self, as I said. So this dependency often leads to a loss of empathy, online insecurity, and many other social and psychological problems. See, nowadays people are not empathized with others because they just lost in the particular gadget or in the world of in the world covered with technology. We actually gradually loses our emotions. We fail to empathize with others. Sorry. So these things we actually losing. Day by day we become harsh towards others, and we fail to place our morality. We fail to express our good behavior or actual behavior. So we lose these things. We lose these things nowadays, right? So so coming to the play again, lastly I can say that if we see, Jaya is the only one character who actually resists the technological illusion in the play. But um, let me ask you a question. Can we truly succeed in freeing ourselves from the influence of technology? What do you think? No, right? And I do not think so, of course not. Because although we are the humans, the creator of technology, it is no longer just a part-time tool for us. Rather, we become the part of it. Are you, are you getting my point? We become the part of it. These are not the gadgets or technology is not our leisure time gadgets, leisure time usable things. Almost every aspect of our daily life now we depends upon technology. Thus, in an implicit way, we are all invaded by it. And finally, I would like to echo the philosopher Rousseau's quote. He had given a very beautiful line, he said that man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. So I can slightly change it and present it in my own way in the context of modern days. So I would like to say that man is born free, but everywhere he is confined within technology. So how is it? So that's all for my discussion today. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you, Karishma, for that incredibly profound and unsettling analysis of Padmanavan's world. Your discussion on the body being treated as a biological warehouse, quote unquote, for the global elite brings to mind, actually, it brings to mind me Kazuo Ishiguro. Uh, if you remember, never let me go. While Ishiguro uses clones and Padmanavan uses the economically disenfranchised, both narratives present a chilling invasion literature or invasion
Oh, I
narrative. Yeah. So where
oh I see.
technology does not just assist life, it actually uh, cannibalizes, yes, cannibalizes it. So it is a stark reminder that when progress outpaces ethics, that human being is often reduced to a mere collection of transplantable parts only. On that thought-provoking note, let's open the floor for question answer. So I request whoever is there in whoever present here and also whoever is watching us through YouTube, please ask your query to our Karishma. She will try to get to your question. Yeah. If anyone has anything to say, not I mean, not necessarily it will be a query. Okay. You can just talk to her if you want. Anything? They are being shy to ask anything. So I
It's all
have a
right.
question.
Yes.
I have a question that in harvest you were talking about that invasion is not physical or military. Okay, we
Mm,
can't say any physical or military invasion, but
mm,
biological and digital. So,
mm,
how does Padmanavan redefine the concept of invasion narratives for the 21st century, for the time being we are living in, like that? Is there any, I
mm,
mean, if you have any insight about it, it will help me.
mm. Means you want to know how the writer's
How does,
play
yes, how
actually
does,
connected to his modern society.
right, right.
Right. So I have taken this play that there the incident happens in the play which is based on technology. The characters actually comes under the technology, though the first world are the main controller, but they use actually technology and they advise them, instruct them. All the characters have to follow their instructions of the first world people, but actually via what? Technology. So they are invaded by technology. So according to me, I when I when I went through the play and I thought that yes, I can connect it to the modern day life. Though the play is written earlier, so long ago, days ago, but still the main thing in the play also they are actually invaded by technology underlyingly, not literally, and they are not aware of it. Similarly, in nowadays also we are actually invaded by technology, but we are not aware of it, or if we even aware of it, we actually ignore this. So
Yeah,
are
that is
you
like, yeah, yeah.
are
I
you
am getting.
getting my point?
Yes, I am getting it. Actually, traditionally, invasion narratives were about an external enemy crossing a
Yes, yes, I know.
national border. Yeah. So,
Yes, I know.
however, we can see in this contemporary narrative that literature
Mm,
like The Harvest,
mm.
the invasion is intimate. So, it's not an
Mm.
army marching into a
No,
city, or
no, no. It is
it's the
metaphorically.
right, right, metaphorically. So it's a corporation moving into a
Mm.
living room,
Yes,
monitoring
yes,
your sleep, eventually claiming
mm.
rights to your internal organs.
Yes,
So we can say that
yes,
it's an inversion like that we often invite in under the disguise of convenience or economic survival. This is my
yes, of course.
point of view. I don't know who
Mm.
agree with me, but this is my point of view after listening your
Mm.
lecture about it. One more thing I
Yes.
want to add that
Mm.
if we see in post-colonial theory, invasion narratives usually focus on land,
Yes,
but
of course.
your focus
Mm.
on harvest reminds us that the
Their
human
lives.
body is the
Mm.
final frontier of colonization. Okay,
Yes, yes,
really, it
exactly.
is
Yeah.
really thought-provoking session you took. And
So here in mm,
when land is no longer enough, the first world world, actually, the first world begins
Hmm.
to harvest the third world biologically. We
People.
have the
Yes.
concept of third world with us. So
Hmm.
it actually already began. So as you
Yes.
mentioned
Of
with,
course.
yeah, as you mentioned that the invader does not want your country. They want our heartbeat, actually, the human
Yes.
body. Right. So thank you so
Yes.
much
Very
for this.
beautifully said. Thank
Something
you.
something in the chat box, I think. Yeah. Aryan, will you please speak up if you, I mean, if possible? He is saying that the play evoked a sense of the importance of institutional regulation around technological advancements and body autonomy through issues like organ donation laws. He is just, giving her his view. Sorry,
Okay.
just a minute, please.
Okay.
Sorry for this. Actually, yeah,
It's all right, the I understand.
my baby is here.
Oh,
He's always here. Okay, so yes, Aryan, you are right. The play evoked a sense of the importance of institutional regulation around technological advancements and body autonomy through issues like organ donation laws. I was just repeating it because it's a virtual platform now. That's why it has been recording. That's why I repeated that. Okay. Anything else to say? If anyone has any question, yeah, I think so. In conclusion, I can say that if when we think of invasion narratives, we often think of old science fiction movies with flying saucers and all, you know.
yes.
But there is a but because Karishma will show us the most dangerous invasion don't happen in the sky. They happen in our homes and under the skin. So thank you for that. And Manjula Padmanavan suggests that in the digital age, the invader does not need an army if they can just buy a subscription to your life. It's a transition from territorial colonization, colonialism, and to what we now call like techno imperialism. Yes, that is the
Hmm.
term I remember. Techno imperialism. So thank you,
I see.
Karishma. It is
Thank you,
really
Koeldi.
no, I am really happy that I chose you and you did really well with that.
Thanks a lot, Dee.
And thanks to Kalani ma'am and Anand sir for letting me in Karishma here because she is really a new one in this field, but she did well. So that's the thing. So as we bring this stimulating session to a close, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks our heartfelt thank you for us for such an intellectually charged presentation. Your deep dive into the innovation narratives with Manjula Padmanavan's Harvest has provided us with a sobering yet necessary lens to view our relationship with technology. Your ability to bridge complex post colonial theory with our daily digital reality made this session truly exceptional. Our thanks to also our the scholars, students, and participants joining us today. Your presence and insightful questions are what transform our lecture into a true community of inquiry. So thank you one and all. We will be coming back in the next month and with another unique topic. So stay tuned with us. Stay tuned with Falat. Thank you. And of course, if you have any query regarding this topic to Karishma Parvin, just let me know. I will redirect to you. Thank you. Karishma, we are ending
Yes, ji.
today's session.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
If you have anything to
I
say,
will
please go ahead.
I will share my
And
email ID to you. If anyone have any queries about this session, he or she can ask me.